Hey guys, Rexlent here. It's been about half a year since the last CBT test for Dual Night Abyss. Dual Night Abyss is an upcoming anime-style action RPG with lots of freedom in movement. You'll be seeing yourself jumping over hordes of enemies a lot while attacking them with your melee and ranged weapon. Yes, there are guns and bows in this game, on top of your own character's skills and ultimates. And just as the name implies, we have two protagonists in the story, each with their own perspective. The dev team, Pan Studio, released a livestream for this CBT highlighting what to expect. I'll give it to you straight, the biggest news out of that stream is that there wouldn't be a 50-50 rate up in effect for the first copy of characters in a banner, so everyone, as well as F2P, rejoice. You can now save up without having to worry if you get spooked by the gacha or not. Weapon is also 100% rate up throughout. The lead developer, Deca Bear, said in his own words that he doesn't like 50-50, so finally, I hope more games can follow this direction because personally, I really dislike 50-50. If you want to see my review video of CBT1, be sure to check it out over here. Otherwise, let's jump straight into this video where I will discuss the significant changes in CBT2 compared to the previous tests. Just like before, you get to choose either the male or female MC for the story, and you start off in Purgatorio Island once again with Berenica, someone who is very close to the MC. The introduction remains largely unchanged. The game teaches you movement maneuvers and weapons, but something worth noting is that the graphical textures of CBT2 have massively improved compared to CBT1. Character models and terrains have a jump in overall quality. Colors are more vibrant and there's also better lighting contrast, so that's something nice to see. A lot of ambient effects have also been added to the background and skybox, pretty much shaping up nicely and coming close to release date, although some areas need work, of which I'll get into later in this video. I'll avoid story spoilers as much as possible so that you guys can experience the narrative on your own should you start this game on launch, because personally, the strongest aspect of DNA is its story as well as music. Fun fact, the music is all composed by an in-house studio. The gist of the story is that humanity is split between two primary races, humans and Charons, with us playing the latter. Charons are a humanoid race distinguished by their unique spine and horn designs. Charons can also evolve into a daemon at their coming of age. That also unlocks their latent abilities in the form of magic. However, this can also go wrong, resulting in them turning into a monster called a Filthoid, and this led to them being racially discriminated in many regions. So yeah, basically we're playing the oppressed race. The premise of the story is the same as usual. We got separated from Berenica, and then she got captured by the 6th Legion, and somehow we ended up in Ice Lake City and got rescued by a Luno called Snow and Camilla Scarlet, who owns a tavern, occasionally handing us jobs to do. Since we have practically no money and no leads, we took up the job of a fox hunter, a sort of mercenary for hire that would do any commissions as long as there are rewards. During our journey, we got to know other fellow Charons like Outsider, Fina, and of course, Psyche, who lives with a sketchy landlord. If you haven't seen the official livestream, last CBT was met with one very large complaint because something really bad happened to Psyche, who also happened to be the first limited banner, so DNA story could get really dark at times. There are additional story chapters also added this time in CBT2. To sum it up, we have one chapter each for the Daemon and Human MCs, similar to CBT1, and also chapter 2 for the Daemon MC where we get to meet Fantasio, and here's what the boss fight looks like.
They smile so bright, and it lights up my night. How I wish I had mine. It's been cold for a lifetime. How I wish I could feel the world inside.
有一天，野兽的爪子伸向雪，大地和天空都变成崩溃。妖精离开了他的城堡。 为了男孩子，我答应我会到山下找到你的亲人，保护他平安。我没事。
Break
my god, absolute cinema! Absolute cinema, am I right? If you want to see the story of CBT2, I stream it here and you can feel free to watch it. Links in the description below. Anyway, that's the narrative side of things. Let's move on to the gameplay. I'll split it into two parts, the RPG element and the movements. On the role-playing side of things, DNA is akin to your classic JRPGs with some interesting elements. You have this thing called impressions, basically a moral compass stat that you can level up based on your actions and responses in the story and in side quests. I was always picking the sarcastic or hostile replies, and that got me to 100 chaos really quickly without even trying. These impressions not only add fun to the dialogues because most of them are voiced, but you also get rewarded with emotes and other goodies later on. Speaking of emotes and aesthetics, a huge addition to this CBT is that not only you can dye your weapons, you can also dye character skins with up to 8 dyeable parts, which is pretty generous. I think that's a really smart design choice since you're already paying for a skin and now you even get to customize the colors to your liking, so there's some uniqueness to it. Not everyone running around has to look the same. I feel like more games should do this, adding more customization here and there. There's a lot of freedom in the movement in DNA, so you can just jump around the map and look for treasure chests and genie mons with no stamina limit. Weapon plunging also has an insane trajectory. With enough altitude, you can zoom past an entire map by doing this. Combat-wise, it's still similar to CBT1. You still only control one character and they all come with an active skill, an ultimate, and a couple of passives. On top of melee and range weapons, you'll be relying on your own characters as AI helpers just like the previous test, so it's up to the player to form a self-sustaining team in terms of healing or synergy for looping skills over and over. Co-op function is also here, with the town square in Ice Lake being the co-op hub where you can interact and emote with other players. So characters-wise, we got a couple of new characters this CBT, namely Fantasio. You've seen him earlier. We also have Kurto. Nothing much is known about him for now. And Lady Niffle. Lady Niffle used to be like a generic NPC before, and now she's a playable in this CBT. And lastly, Ziliu. Very nice design. So these are the new 5-star characters for this test. And then for the existing 5-star characters, we have Fina, followed by Psyche, followed by Fushu, followed by Truffle, and then Hilda, Rebecca, Lynn, Yuming, Cybele. So there's already a rich cast of characters going on, and this is only CBT2. For 4-star characters, we still have Tabitha, Berenica, Margie, Hellfire, Yale and Oliver. And what's new here is Daphne. So Daphne is from the human side of the story, human MC story, and now she's playable. Same for Outsider. Outsider used to be a story-only character. Now he's playable. He's also free in this test. Same for Daphne. Both Daphne and Outsider were free. And then Randy. And lastly, Rhythm, who serves as the highlight of the second chapter for the Karen MC. So look forward to finding a character that suits your playstyle and enjoy them. As for the main character, we start off with the Karen MC up to a certain point in the game. We also get to play the human MC as well. Both of them are separate characters with their own rights and backstories. And the new thing about this CBT is that we're now able to pick either male or female for both of them. You can even go male, male, or male, female, or female and female. Not sure if they'll allow us to switch genders freely. There are no signs of that, at least in CBT2, so choose wisely. The music, not much to say here if you've already seen my past videos from Tech Test and CBT1. Music is absolutely peak in this game. It's all composed by an in-house production team, and you've been listening to it in the background. I think we can all agree that a good soundtrack can really elevate the experience in games. It just gives me Nier Automata vibes sometimes. Now for the progression, here's a big one. The progression roadmap is still largely the same. You spend your Synergy, aka your stamina, on commissions to farm your character and weapon upgrade materials. You will participate in various activities in set commissions depending on the stage. We have Termination, where you just defeat about 40 enemies, Mediation, where you destroy a tower and evacuate, and there's also Defense, where you hold out for 3 minutes while protecting an NPC and so forth. It used to be really grindy in CBT1, and that's when Deca Bear addressed it and promised to reduce the grind. However, it's still kinda grindy to an extent, especially the ones where you have to hold out for 3 whole minutes regardless of your killing speed. But the devs have once again acknowledged this, and there's a good chance that they will adjust it again. Demon Wedge is the gear system in this game. You can watch my CBT1 video to learn more about it. The system still remains the same as before. Every wedge is unique and fixed, so there is 0 RNG when you upgrade them. The only hard part is getting them as drops, and the place to farm demon wedges don't cost stamina, so you can practically farm there forever. The highest rarity wedges require you to craft them via blueprints, and that's where covered commissions come in. Covered Commissions is a new mode introduced in this CBT where you spend stamina to open secret letters for a chance to get blueprints and standard 5-star weapon parts so players can eventually craft the weapons without needing to gacha them. The biggest flaw to this system is that it costs an absurd amount of synergy, anywhere from 80 to about 120 to open one secret letter, so it's not very sustainable at the moment. Secret letters can drop in any commission, so while I was playing, I was getting them way faster than I could spend them, so chances are they might adjust this in the live build. Speaking of gacha, just a quick summary mentioned earlier, characters are 100% for the first copy in their banners, and their limited weapons are also 100% all the way, not just the first copy. So that's a huge plus already in my book, no 50-50 shenanigans for the first copy. Apart from that, another recurring endgame has been added. This is the Abyss equivalent where you need 2 teams to clear, on top of the rook-like mode, both of which you should definitely do for the rewards as they give you high-end crafting materials. But yeah, that sums up my quick report on changes in CBT2. The takeaway is that it's still going in a promising direction despite some things that still require polishing and tweaking, especially the grindiness. I think that's the biggest part where the dev needs to be careful about. It's still a huge step up from last CBT and I'm anticipating the final product at launch. Also, it's quite apparent that they are hard at work trying to make this work. There are more than 10 in-game surveys, each scrutinizing every single part of the game, so it's a good look, and yeah, I hope that the feedback is taken seriously. Story and music are DNA's strongest suits, so if you're into a good story narrative like me, definitely give this game a go when it launches. Oh yeah, as of the editing of this video, the DNA team has posted an update regarding the CBT test review. So the first point, a new sprint option will be added to complement existing movement systems. This is great, now that we have even more freedom of movement. Helix Sleep will support one button activation on PC and controller now. So before you needed to press Control and space to do Helix Sleep. So this is good news that you only need to press one button to complete the operation. Auto pickup radius will be expanded to 1.5 times of its current range. This is also great. You don't have to run and pick up all the healing and sanity. Grapple points will be added in select areas to allow faster traversal. So difficulty will be rebalanced in main story, and some difficulty in some quests will also be balanced. Narrative will also be improved. Now, this is the big one, commission gameplay optimization. To reduce time pressure and improve grind-related systems, we are planning the following adjustments. Mediation will no longer include time-based scoring. So, remember how I mentioned at the start of the video, you needed like 3 minutes to clear a commission? Well, that's removed now. Exploration will be updated to remove the time limit. Progress will depend on collecting serum from 0 to 100%. Most of the bad things about commissions, they're removing it now. So, improving the secret letter system will be one of our priorities. The one that I mentioned where you need to keep farming to get more of these secret letters and then you need to spend like 100 stamina to open it. I'm glad that they highlighted this as one of their priorities. We also plan to implement a number of system level and quality of life updates. Demon Wedge auto-equip logic will be improved to prioritize stat compatibility. The original standard chrono will be split into 2 parts. So one will be exclusively for characters, one will be exclusively for weapons. This is huge, by the way. So that means when you're rolling the standard banner, you either get only characters or only 5-star weapons. No mix of 5-star character and weapon. This is huge. And bug fixes and mobile optimization. So it's great that they've already highlighted so many issues right away when CBT just ended. So I'm glad to see that they're actively working on all the fixes now. And this concludes my review video for Dual Abyss CBT 2. Hopefully there will be one more open test before the actual launch and then we can see how many things will be improved once again. And then maybe the game will truly be ready for launch. Alright, that's all for today's video. Consider leaving a like, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.